Another day, another crazy person making another crazy attempt at trying to strike diamonds out in this digital age. Gotta respect the lunacy. But anyway, this kid is off a bean and he's from the United Kingdom. Who would have thought? I must say, he's a cracking lad. After pulling a stunt like this, you would have thought the bloke was plastered in it. But that's enough faffing around. Let's get right to it, yeah? You'll never guess what was on the TikTok agenda today in order to get a bunch of likes and views on a stupid app. You want to take a guess? I'm waiting. Go ahead. Sneaking into people's houses. Yeah, all right. Now let's take a nice good look at the dumbassery at display here. Go on. Aim your eyes at the bulletin board. There we go.
Get into random houses. Let's go.
James? Come to the front door right now, please.
James?
James.
You man, come.
Hello, James.
We need to speak to James.
James.
Hi.
James.
Is this where the study group is?
No. What door number is this? No.
You just gotta love how this guy was just mocking the wife, trying to get a little bit of that TikTok savagery out, getting them juices to make the TikTok all the more interesting. Is it me or does James here look a little bit like Jamie Vardy? The striker from Leicester City?
Study group.
Come on.
Wait, this is not where the study group is.
got kids, man.
Oh, you got kids? Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought this was the study group. I actually thought. And this is the study group.
Wow, he just really sat there on the couch and then just kicked his feet up like he was some sort of badass for doing this, just walking inside of the house of a nice guy. Imagine if James wasn't such a nice guy. How would this turn out? How would this have gone if James had the strap on him? How would this have actually turned out? You think most people would have patience for anyone just coming into their house? What if they would have went to the house of a fucking drug dealer? Imagine that. Imagine what kind of person could have been behind this door if it wasn't James. If you ask me, these kids actually got fucking lucky. Because 9 times out of 10, I think it's pretty clear that everyone gets a general idea or has a general idea that someone is gonna beat down somebody that actually comes into their house. Otherwise, Mizzy wouldn't have done this joke in the first place. That's the general idea. That's the general consensus. That's why this looks so savage when he posts it online. But all in all, if James was actually a person who was able to enact his self-defense, or if James actually had a bad enough day, this could have turned south more quickly than anyone could have actually even thought. Let's just try and process the game plan here. Let's figure out what kind of plays they were trying to make in order to win the Super Bowl. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the UK here. What I meant to say was, what kind of plans are we gonna make to win the UEFA Champions League? Because once going into someone's house like this, what if something would have actually happened? What if this was someone that was not as kind as James here? Then what? What kind of direction would this TikTok have taken? And one thing that just sucks entirely is that the harassment of other people is just the one thing that is getting so much clout and making this guy Mizzy feel like he's actually doing something, like he's made it, as if just getting attention is going to simply do enough in order to establish a career on the internet. People know your name, but that's not going to get enough people to gravitate and stay. And if you keep doing stupid stunts like this, they're only going to keep watching as long as you keep upping the ante and getting more and more dangerous and putting yourself and your own life at risk over and over again. It's such a stupid, vicious cycle to willingly put yourself into and try and live by, because what is the end goal of doing all of this shit? What does this ultimately do? You think this is going to give you a Ferrari? You think stealing someone's dog is going to make it so you can start living in a fucking mansion? I don't understand how this kind of behavior could even be rewarded into getting you that far. Just simple TikTok views are going to make it so that you're going to have enough money to live on your own and establish some kind of lifestyle that you want by simply doing these same pranks over and over and over again. All I gotta say is you got another thing coming if you think you're going to be able to actually do something more extreme than going into somebody's fucking house. Especially since one thing that the internet likes is consistency. So you're gonna have to keep up this same pace over and over again. If you let one stupid TikTok like this be any less interesting than the last, that's when you're fucking done. Like, all these stupid kids want a slice of this clout pie, but they literally do not understand what kind of ingredients it takes to get that shit. And that is the worst part. They don't understand what kind of impact it really has on your life. Clout's dangerous, isn't it? You see Mizzy say things like, oh, we're ruling the internet. We've got all this attention on me. Like, really, what does this attention do? What is this? Does it just make you feel good? Is it the adrenaline that makes you just keep wanting to do something like this? I just will never understand it. He says something like controversy, even though it's not good, is the best way to blow up on social media. I always know outrage is going to happen. I know exactly what I'm doing and the consequences of my actions. I tell people not to reciprocate what I've done. What a gentleman. What a saint. That's a classy fellow, isn't it? I do terrible things for attention. But then again, I tell other people not to do that same exact thing. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you... What kind of half-ass shit is this? I gotta use my platform to exercise how to not be a shit person. But then again, I'm gonna just show everybody that you can blow up and get internet famous by being a shit person. What kind of hypocritical shit is this? This is actually fucking funny. But wait, it gets even worse and dumber than you thought. He also says, I'm a black male doing these things, and that's why there's such an uproar on the internet. Name the last time a fucking Indian guy recorded himself breaking into someone's house in the middle of broad fucking daylight on TikTok. Name an Asian guy who's done that. Name a white guy who's done that. I'm a black guy, and that's why it's getting clout. No, maybe because you're just so dumb that you're actually going to do these things and you just happen to be black. And this is also coming from a black male because I know I need to identify that so that people don't think I'm some kind of random fucking racist because everyone likes to pull that fucking card. Even though it's completely unnecessary. But in the eyes of some, only black people can criticize other black people, so I guess I'm the guy to do it. Hand me the shotgun. Really, the because I'm black, that's why people care. Wow. That's just fucking sane. The way this guy breaks into a house and tries to play victim over his fucking skin color. He even stole a fucking dog.
Hello.
Hi.
You got a nice dog?
Sorry?
You got a nice dog?
She's lovely. She's family dog. Don't run away.
Doing gang, whole lot of gang shit. We outside! We outside! We outside! We're gonna fucking dog! We outside every single time!
He did give it back, but are you fucking serious? No one cares that you're fucking black, my guy. The only ones that actually care are the ones of the same skin color that you're representing and making look some type of way because you're making a fool out of yourself. Because maybe an Indian guy, a white guy, or another black guy wouldn't be so fucking dumb that they would record themselves doing this shit, and maybe they would actually try and do something to try and get themselves out of poverty and make a substantial lifestyle that they want without having to stoop so fucking low, without having to reduce their self-respect, and in order to keep the same passions that they like in their day-to-day lives. Because an Indian guy, a white guy, an Asian guy, or another black guy isn't so dumb that they would choose to do this and risk going to fucking jail. You're just dumb enough to do this shit, and you just happen to be black. It's not because you're black, you're just dumb. You're a fucking moron. He also says, I don't fake my pranks, but I always make sure to sort out the situation after I feel like I went a little too overboard. But none of my pranks have malicious intentions behind them, and most of the people in the pranks acknowledge that after I speak to them. You know what? Let's take a look at these clips right quick. If you notice, it's kind of funny that Mizzy tries to take and use the fucking race card, but everyone he's harassing just so happens to be white. Like, we can all play victim because we're black or whatever, but how are you gonna act like you're a victim for being a black guy when you're literally victimizing white people in your content through fucking harassment? And no one was even thinking about race. Why does race end up always being a target subject whenever there's anything going on? Honestly, skin color is stupid. It does not matter. If you have to waste any thought on that, then there is something wrong with you, easily. And to make matters worse, he even pulls the same race card when he's on an interview with Piers Morgan.
Tell me about your life. What justifies this?
What's
happened to you that makes you think you're justified in doing this?
What do you mean tell me about my life?
Well, you said you know nothing about your life. Tell me about your life.
Because you're trying to get onto me because I'm black. Because I guarantee if
because
there was
you're
a white
black?
person, yeah, I guarantee if
I
there
don't
was a
give
white
a
person,
damn about your skin colour.
Really?
No.
Piers,
Why would I
Piers.
care what colour your skin is? I just think you're an idiot.
Oh, thank you. I think you're an idiot too.
That's fine. You're perfectly entitled to.
Yeah, so are you. So
this
like,
show's
fine.
called Uncensored. I think you're an idiot for what you've been doing. Okay. I also think you're an idiot for playing the race card when no one's mentioned your skin colour.
Really? Okay, you don't have to mention it to...
I don't care about your skin colour, Mizzy.
What in the name of God? What is this trying to say? What is this doing? Are you just trying to say that your life sucks due to your skin color? I understand, as a fellow black guy, that there are a lot of black people in poverty, but we cannot use skin as an excuse, especially when there are some of us smart enough to actually understand and be aware of whether or not someone is actually being racist to us. And then now when we have morons like Mizzy trying to pull the boy who called racist card, it makes actual racism look like a fucking joke. Like, how can anyone take us seriously when we actually have people out here getting labeled for their skin color when you have someone like Mizzy on live television trying to call someone racist when logically and within the context of the interview, there is nothing racist about it. There is no kind of racist leverage to grab onto. I gotta admit, I do like how Piers Morgan actually put this kid on a silver platter and chopped him up, because honestly, he had it coming doing that and trying to call that guy and play it off like he was racist. And now, when it comes to him actually getting called out and face any kind of accountability, it's no longer an issue because he just simply doesn't care. Honestly, maybe he's missing attention at home. I wouldn't really know, but he does some insane shit. Literally walking up to a group of girls, rubbing one girl on her face, and repeating to ask her if she wants to die.
What? I want to saw you from over there. I like your hair still. You got some nice hair. It's nice and luscious. I'm perfectly fine. We're gonna die. Huh? Why are you just smiling at me? I asked him a question, a serious question. Do you wanna die?
No.
Why?
Because you still touching him.
Why?
Because.
You're gonna die? You sure?
Yeah.
I saw you from over there. You're just looking like you wanted to die.
When did we die?
Well, you was looking at me this whole time. You're gonna die? Nah, bro. Bro. You're gonna die, bro. Bro, don't even answer that right now. This is serious, bro. You're trying to answer the phone. Who's calling you? They can wait. They can wait, bro. You're gonna die, bro, because I can take it out right now, bro.
What's wrong?
Huh?
What's wrong?
I can take it out right now. Do you want to die? Yes or no? How I speak? I'm talking to you, bro. You don't wanna die? Swat me then. Swat. I lied to you, bro. I don't know why you're laughing as well, bro. Just take.
How is any random person supposed to take this encounter? Of course, they start laughing because honestly, who the fuck would come up to them and do that? And he keeps playing it off. And actually, maybe he might just even be frustrated because they actually think this guy's a fucking joke. But you can tell the girls eventually get disturbed by what the hell he's doing. Like, why does he continue to touch her in the face? Oh my god. This is honestly some of the most cringe shit I've seen in a long ass time. Wow. I really wonder how the rest of this ended up playing out. But of course, we're not gonna ever see the rest of that footage. But all in all, just going up to a random female and just rubbing your hand across her face and saying you're going to kill her, pretty unhinged shit. I can't even really assess a thought about that at all. I hate to sound like James Jonah Jameson complaining about this fucking kid behind a mic, but Oh my god. This is honestly some really dumb ass shit. You can only imagine what the girls are being put through in that situation, what kind of shock they might feel right after that, how much that might just stick to their mind for a little bit, or how much they could reminisce and be uncomfortable about that situation. Kind of terrible if you ask me. Mizzy should hope that an older brother or a father doesn't see that shit, because for God's sake, they would be unhappy. And my God, like how I said before, he ups the ante, it gets worse. It actually gets worse because he, not only after putting others in danger, ends up putting himself in danger by climbing a scaffolding at night.
Aye, what is wrong with this Mizzy guy? What is wrong with... Aye, what the fuck is wrong with this brother, fam?
Now, what point is being proven by doing this? Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe he wanted to prove that he could be like Peter Parker, or maybe even become the next Nathan Drake. Tom Holland, you need to go eat shit. Bro, it's Mizzy Nation, isn't it? And next you just see him laying on the hood of a fucking car. If he was on my car, I'm sorry, I'm pulling off. A lot of these people are being extremely kind. Like I said, in a lot of these pranks, you see him harassing white people. If Mizzy's gonna feel like he's being harassed over his skin color and victimized over his skin color, then we might as well look at the actual victims in this situation. But it's no coincidence that they just happen to be white, and it's no coincidence that Mizzy just happens to be black, right? This is a systematic issue in society. Yeah, that's literally a dumbass perspective, because at this day and age, you shouldn't even be paying attention to their skin color now. But go fucking figure. But now, since you've seen the crazy guy in action, it's time to really give him the rest of the spotlight here. So, when it comes to this entire internet shit, you know, why he's doing this movement, they keep saying that it's not to have any malicious agenda being spread, but it honestly makes no sense because Mizzy is just doing things that are ultimately putting people in danger, and that's just the end all be all. Even this kind of situation with a positive message behind it, if you even want to argue that shit, because I sure as hell don't see one. One point that I see them try and stress and get across is the very fact that UK laws are weak, bruv. You have to make them stronger, yeah? If the laws are weak, why are you trying to strengthen them by actively being an example that the laws have to deal with in the first place? Since the laws are weak, let me be the sole proprietor as to why they would strengthen the laws at all. I guess everyone has a role to play in this world, and this is theirs. And apparently they were doing these things before social media was even a thing, although I don't really understand this because, you know, they're 18 now, considering that they were just now turning 18. What kind of access would they have before? What kind of potential was there? I couldn't really tell you. Mizzy's friend also mentions that Mizzy has a son and that they are hoodlums just trying to make it out, but I think what they fail to realize is, unless you're like already certified and have some kind of platform to pull money from, it's going to be pretty damn hard to make a living off of this. Even then, is it going to be something that's going to be feasible and allow you to buy yourself a home without having to worry about posting a video where you have to damn near break your neck every day? Like I said, he has to continue upping the ante, and it's going to get to a point where it's going to cross the line. Honestly, climbing that scaffolding already crossed the line for me. That was already pretty fucking crazy. When it came to going to someone's house and taking someone's dog, he got lucky because those were people who weren't gonna fucking beat his ass for doing that. And I bet you he was at least selective upon which people he was gonna steal a dog from and whose house he was gonna walk into. But climbing a scaffolding, you're going to die. You're not going to go to jail. You're just going to die from your own recklessness and stupidity. And that is something that I do not appreciate. And as I'm saying that it seems as if he's being a little selective with everyone he's doing a joke to, he says himself that he doesn't discriminate. So where's the big buff motherfucker with anger issues that we have yet to see in one of these videos? But in all seriousness, this is kind of just sad to watch because we see individuals that are probably in a slum. I don't know what kind of fucking place they're living in, to be honest. I don't know these people, and it's sad that I had to even specify that. However, it's just crazy to see them go so far to try and get some money to get out of their current living situation. They have to stoop to doing things like this. And it shouldn't be that way. And I just feel like when it comes to trying to find a stable and viable way to doing what you want to do, if you really need money that badly, if money is really your top priority, this content creation is great. You can make money off of it, but it is not for everyone. I will say that 100 times, 1,000 times, because it requires a certain type of person. Just because you're grabbing attention now doesn't mean you're going to grab attention later. Just because you make your first couple of thousand now doesn't mean you'll continue to make a couple of thousand or 10,000. People can watch all of your videos now, but then they'll be gone just like that tomorrow. And really, it just kind of hurts me because this guy doesn't realize people aren't watching you for you. They don't care about Mizzy. They want to see what Mizzy is doing, what crazy shit Mizzy is going to get into. Why is Mizzy doing this? Oh, look at how stupid Mizzy is. They think you're a fucking specimen. They're not going to actually try and support you or actually give a damn about you. And if these people that are watching actually do, I would be damn sure surprised. Because people on TikTok are like flies to a light. If someone is shining a little bit brighter than you, I guarantee you they're going to glide their way over there, and it could just be a clone, an exact copy of what you're doing. And you could just become yesterday's news. That's why I just don't think this is a viable way of being able to try and make it so that you can support your own lifestyle by doing this. And he's taking the easiest route possible, right? And of course, it's a double-edged sword. You get all this attention, you get all this clout, but is it really going to be there when you need it most? Fuck no. And that's why I would never do this route. This is why people need to work for the things that they have. I'm not going to lie. He actually has the balls. He's crazy enough to do what he's doing. So, rightfully so. He got the attention he wanted. But is it going to last? That's why I want a lot of these people doing these crazy ass stunts to realize. Because honestly, it doesn't always last. Everything, unfortunately, comes to an end. And you can lose clout just as quick as you got it. It's the norm for children to dream of being a YouTuber or a next celebrity star from the internet. And that's the biggest lie anyone could have ever told you. I promise you, it really is. I'm not saying don't follow your dreams. If you think you can do it, go right ahead. But it's not always going to turn out exactly how you thought it was. Because by the time you actually realize how this internet shit works, it's already too late. That's the most dangerous part because everyone walks into trying to become an internet celebrity without fully understanding what the fuck they're getting themselves into. And all I gotta say is, these stupid ass acts that Mizzy is doing is not worth it. And it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. I'm gonna say it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. Work your hardest and do your best. There are no shortcuts. If you want a shortcut, you will be short-lived. And that is a fact. And I'll end it off with this. Mizzy likes to criticize the UK for having weak laws, and he exposes it for that. But little does he realize that he's actually showing other people that they can get away with doing terrible shit just like this.